Oh, cut your Wi-Fi off, please, everybody. Thank you.
Tube.
Let's do it.
What up?
Oh, cut your Wi-Fi off, please, everybody.
Just in case. Just in case. Safety first, y'all.
Safety first.
Safety first. Just in case you didn't know, it's being recorded. Ernest, what's going on? Bless Monday. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. You know where we at. You know where we at.
I know the vibes.
Come on, stop it.
I know the vibes.
And the trap going places that you can't go.
Yes,
Big
yes,
facts.
yes, yes. Shout out to J.A., man. We are out here, man.
Bless up, bless up. Yeah, we doing a lot of legendary things, man. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. What? Hold up. Yo, the Don has just walked in. The Don has just walked in.
Oh,
We're gonna give a proper intro.
Let me intro this correctly.
Yo.
So
let me get Dunlap in here. Hold on.
Let's get Dunlap in here and let's get Trap in here if he's Market Mondays. You don't know who I know. You don't. You really don't.
Why? Oh, no, we can't. Yeah. There we go. They wasn't trying to let Dunlap in.
Yeah.
Now let the club door in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw it. Yo.
What's going on, man?
What's good, brother?
What up?
How y'all feeling? Boy.
Man, how you, man?
I'm great. Y'all brought the big boys out, huh?
Oh, you know that, man.
Come on now.
Speaking of that, we in Jamaica, so we film remotely, and Market Mondays is such a cultural phenomenon. Somebody actually stopped me today. Shout out to Joel.
That's dope.
Stopped me and was like, "Yo, Market Mondays. I've been watching since the first Market Mondays
episode."
He was
That's
like,
incredible.
"Yo,
I appreciate that."
He was like, "Yo, my portfolio went crazy, man." He was like,
he wouldn't even give us a percentage.
What do you think about Ian? He was like, "Ian's a good youth." He's like, "He's a
good youth, man.
Good youth, man. Good youth.
I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody in Jamaica.
This is what we're gonna do, Ian. Before we start this show, man, we got some surprises. So we're gonna bring the guys up, man. We got some legends in the building with us just to say what's up.
Are
man.
you kidding me?
You already know.
Hold on. Let's set the room right. Let's set the room. We said we had some big announcements. We got some big surprises. We in the big capital of Jamaica, Kingston to be exact. Earlier, you might have saw us in Sherlock Crescent, going places that you can't go. You feel me? A real tour.
You need a pass walk through there.
And they said, if I'm talking spicy, it's because I'm back home, y'all. Y'all know I don't do this.
It's just for entertainment.
A special place. And if y'all saw what I'm looking at, you would understand why I'm talking spicy. Let's go.
Yeah, so we was with the legendary Shams early, and we had an opportunity to meet the fastest man of all time.
Hey.
Both good dudes, man. Super solid, good dudes, man. And
are they with us? Are they with? Did you hear what he said? Put some bolts in the chat. Stop playing. Put some bolts in the chat. Stop playing.
So yeah, they
talking about the greatest of this era, boy.
Of all time. So this is what we're gonna do, man. Before we started the episode, we're gonna bring the guys up just to say what's up and bring some good energy. So, gentlemen,
yo, come. Live studio.
Yeah.
That's good energy, boy.
My guy,
what's popping?
Yeah. So
your eyes are not deceiving you.
Yeah,
you don't know who we know.
You don't. I want to let them just speak to the people real quick. Shan, say what's up to the people, man.
This a survival story. This a true ghetto story. This is my story. Early ledger story. Hey, ra.
Let's go.
I can't sing, but I'm just saying, what up, people? We're here in the building.
My guy, I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, man. So these guys, man, super solid, super A1 dudes. And you'll be seeing what we did later on. Just stay tuned. But we couldn't do Market Mondays, and they were gracious enough to have us in the facility. So we couldn't do that without acknowledging the GOATs, true legends in this game.
Absolutely.
Cultural icon. So whenever we come to the town, we always got to pay homage. So Jamaica, we couldn't come without the capital of the guy.
Market Mondays, because
Hey, let's go.
almost 2 years, we under lockdown. No party. We now go. Can you hear me? Good. Clockwork. I said the clockwork.
Yo. And we here in a studio. They were gracious enough to have us in the studio. They are cooking up something very special. My brother, you say they're cooking up something very special. Yo, listen. Big things like one.
Yeah, man. If you look out, music thing now producing, where I do it big. Know that.
I love it.
Nah, well,
You know, I got to slide in my Oprah question real quick for both of them. Let's say there's somebody who's 16 years old who wants to get to where you brothers are. Give us the unabashed truth about how hard you have to train and work on your craft to get there.
Jeez. One thing I have to say, especially at 16, was get serious early. I knew I wasn't that serious. I used to just mess around because I had talent. I didn't get serious until later, and I could have been better. It sounds weird, but I could have been better, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? But just dedicate yourself to your craft, believe in yourself, because if you don't, nobody will, you know what I mean? So just push yourself, never give up, understand that the road is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, but as long as you want it, you will get it if you work for it.
And just following up on what Hussein just said about the road to success is not straight. There's a curve called failure, loops called confusion, speed bumps called friends, and red lights called enemies, caution signs called family, and flat tires called jobs. But if you have a spear called determination, and an engine called perseverance, with insurance called faith, and the drive to make it, you'll reach a place called success.
Jeez. That's one of the greatest quotes of all time.
Hey, yo.
Are you serious?
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me, man?
Flames. More fire. More fire.
That in itself is a sermon. My
Hey,
God.
yo, my big brother Mikey here too. Shout out Mikey.
Man. Yo, legendary moments only, man. EYL Market Mondays.
This is crazy.
Legendary moments, man. Y'all gotta really appreciate that, man. That was. I'm gonna replay that.
Yo, somebody,
that was crazy.
somebody write those in the notes. Yo, somebody put that in the notes, please.
He said a flat tire called a job. Yo,
speed bump called friends.
Yo,
that's the entire journey, though.
Nah. That's a fact, man. But brothers, man, we appreciate y'all, man. I just wanted to just have y'all.
Appreciate y'all dealing.
Appreciate you, brother.
Banging,
my brother.
Yes, sir.
There you have it, man. Market Mondays. What better way to start a Market Mondays? Do you understand?
Are you kidding me?
The presence of greatness
all the time.
Are you kidding me?
Come on, man.
Are you kidding me?
He said he could have been better.
Like what?
Oh, like how much greater can you be?
The greatest, man.
Ask him how many hours per day he been training the last 8 years.
Oh, don't worry. We got something coming. Yeah, we got something.
Oh, that's baffling. He could have been better.
Today, Ian. We was cooking up today.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I already know, but man.
Shout out to the guys, man.
Jesus.
Yo, man. Cultural, man. That's just how we gonna set the tone just to start it, man. One of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yeah.
The greatest Olympian probably ever.
Yeah.
The fastest for sure.
The fastest person in the history of the world. You know, that's like crazy if you really think about it.
Not
like
debatable.
Every person that's ever lived, he's the fastest person in the history of the world. Super humble dude. And Shams, I mean, come on, man. Growing up in New York, we hered all his stories. You was playing his hits. Crazy,
Proud
man.
of this. Yeah.
Brought us through the neighborhood today. Sherlock Crescent, man. So shout out to the guys, man. We are enjoying ourselves in Jamaica, and it's been good energy. So, all right.
I'm happy for you, man, that you got to go back. You know,
yeah,
man. My soul, yeah.
It's crazy, man. My parents were so worried. They're like, please don't go back. Nobody goes back. It's so dangerous. Don't do it. Please. I'm like, nah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it because it means so much. It means so much for me to see exactly where my roots come from, right? A lot of people can pinpoint, right, their grandmother or their great grandmother. For me, I didn't have any of that, and so all I know is that Kingston is home to me and my family. And so to be here, to meet the king of the country, really, man, and have him be gracious enough to host us in his restaurant, host us at his studio, and then have Sham take us back to his neighborhood. Bro, this is 2021, different. Man. This is on top of the list for sure.
Nah, it's different. It's different, man. Shout out to all the guys, man. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Jaleel. Shout out to Abdullah. Shout out to Alex. Good energy.
Yeah, shout out Alex.
He's been with us, man. Alex, good energy.
Hey,
man.
yo, Alex turned on his patois.
Yo, you gotta talk in the dialect. Yay.
We needed that, Jaleel. That's more fire.
That's crazy. Oh man, we having a good time out here, man. So, all right, Market Mondays. We're gonna reset the room. Yes, we are gonna have Wall Street Trapper on.
Of course.
Yes, we're gonna do the $5,000 giveaway. Yes, we're doing the Red Panda Scholarship. Yes, we're doing EYL University Scholarship. Yes, we're doing Trapper Anonymous Scholarship.
We may go crazy tonight. That's a different energy when he walked in.
Yeah. But before we start, we got an announcement. We said we got a big announcement. So how we Ian, you want to play the video?
Yo, I'm gonna try. Ian, I'm gonna play it. Ian,
yeah, play it.
I send it to you as backup. Just let me know.
Yeah, I got you.
We're gonna share the screen. I want everybody I want popcorn emojis inside the chat right now. Popcorn emojis. That's what type of announcement
I need everybody to sit Indian style.
Cemetery silence.
Please.
Cemetery silence, please. Popcorn, please. All right, I see some popcorns going up. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, now let's just do it. We'll talk about it later on.
We'll talk about it after. All right. Oh, wait. They got Shotty up there. Let's see.
Let's reset this room.
Let's see.
PTR.
Hey, y'all can see the screen? Ian, we good on the screen?
Yeah, you good. Fire away.
Let's do it.
You know, the thing about making history, you never really try to make it. It just happens.
The journey started with an iPhone and idea, and it led to our living room, creating content that changed the world forever.
Earn Your Leisure Podcast, episode 6, time flies.
Like we always say, man, we came with no expectations, just knowing that we wanted to educate people, especially from our community.
Oh my God, access over value and all these great things.
And like, these are the results of it, man. People have been supporting at a tremendous level, so thank you so much for supporting. We got some more stuff we got coming up. The Best Fest is the festival that the world needed but never had.
So we took things to our own hands and made it happen for the world without the culture.
Shout out to yourself for being in the right place at the
The Best Fest is the premier destination for investors around the world.
It's a sanctuary for all entrepreneurs and investors.
It's the yearly pilgrimage to bring brands and businesses together and push them to new heights. Welcome to Invest Fest, where culture and commerce connect.
There you have it, ladies.
Game, set, match.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, we figured, you know, it's time to get back out there and start moving around. And we're going to do live podcasts. We might do a conference. We might do a couple different things. But we wanted to say, okay, what's never really been done before? And, you know, we think about Coachella. We think about Made in America. We think about the Essence Fest. And there's always a lot of festivals for a lot of different things. But to my knowledge, there's no festival for investing, entrepreneur, and business. So we wanted to make something where this is something that could live every single year, annual, and be a pilgrimage for everybody in true Earn Your Leisure fashion. It never really was about us. It was always about other people that we highlighted. So we said, okay, what if we get all of the superstars together in one place at one time and have a festival feel? So, you know, have entertainers, have vendors, food trucks, the whole thing. So, of course, we'll be there. Ian,
Wall Street Trapper, 19 Keys, Ronnie Brown, Kizia, Kiana Watson, MG the Mortgage Guy, Hill Harper, Miss Business, Ash Cash, Dave Shands, John Henry, Fabulous. We'll be talking about taxes, crypto, stocks, real estate, insurance, estate planning, marketing, mental wellness. It'll be some live podcasts. It'll be fireside chats. It'll be presentations. It'll be performances. We'll have 200 vendors. So if you're a small business owner and you want to get a table and you can sell your products, or we'll have a marketplace for 200 small vendors. We'll have 20 food trucks. We'll have people selling clothes. We'll have people selling insurance products. We'll have people doing all kinds of stuff. And God willing, what it will be is an annual event, like I said, that will live on forever, kind of like Coachella, kind of like Made in America, and all of the above. And it's called Invest Fest. And it is the weekend of August 27th to the 29th. I'm going to pin the website right now, but you can go to investfest.com right now and get your pre-sale tickets. So it's 1 month away. People are saying like an event like this usually takes about 12 months to 18 months.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy when you set the date.
They were like, wait, oh, so you're going to run this third quarter next year? We're like, nah, like in 45 days.
Yeah. So we're going to do it. And it's going to be major. And it's going to be all your favorites.
Gonna be a couple guests.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we ain't even talking about that.
Yeah.
We getting there.
This is just the beginning. We're going to be announcing new guests. We're going to be bringing a lot of high profile people on as the weeks come. We got a few people that's close to the finish line to come in. So it's going to be a whole experience. It's going to be a whole experience of culture, learning, networking. We're going to bring 5,000 people to Atlanta the last weekend of August. And it's something that's never been done before. So Invest Fest, go to Invest Festival on Instagram and go to investfest.com right now. Pre-sale tickets is up. It's 1 month away. Of course, we're going to be talking about it a lot more in the coming weeks, but this is the one. This is
if y'all thought last week's episode was special, that ain't nothing on what I'm
Yeah.
long-term swing trade futures. Like I'm gonna get off the kindergarten material and I'm gonna take it up 100 levels for y'all.
We hear the stories all the time about people, especially celebrities, going to conferences and festivals and not festivals, conferences, and hearing business tips and hearing feedback, and they got invested in something because they heard it at a conference. We were like, yo, there's no need for that anymore. Like, we need to become that for our culture. We need to become that for our generation. And we're going to have that continue on for generations. And so those days are over. The secret society is over. We are the new wave. We are the wave. And so Invest Fest is where you need to be at August 27th through the 29th. It's going to be incredible. Atlanta, y'all already know what happens when we go to Atlanta, but we want to bring the world to Atlanta because it's such a special place to us. It's like our second home. So be there.
All right, let's bring in Trap.
Yeah, let's bring in our brother.
That CrowdStrike looking good from what he called last time he was on. By the way, put CrowdStrike in chat if you guys invested in it when he told you about it last time. My guy, what's popping?
Hey, Trap, what's going on, my guy?
What's good, family?
Yeah, everything good. Hey, yo, before we start, let me just say something really quick because we got to, we set the room. We started off crazy, but we got to do a couple of housekeeping things. So first and foremost, this episode of Market Mondays is brought to you by Ally Financial. Ally is an option if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally Financial is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service and innovative financial solutions. They are relentlessly focused on doing it right and being a trusted financial service provider to both customers and communities. Get with Ally to make the most of your money so you can save, invest, and spend on the things that matter to you. Shout out to the good folks at Ally. They actually will be reporting their earnings tomorrow. Shout out to Ally.
Yeah, I love them dearly.
Yeah. Shout out to them. And then I guess I'll just do the disclaimer while we're here, Ian.
Yep, do it.
Because the fire could just, we started with more fire, but people going to want even more fire. So number one, do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for the informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Please do your homework. Please do your research. This is a message brought to you by good folks at Earn Your Leisure and a good brother, Ian Dunlap, the Master Investor.
And tomorrow we got a dope episode with my boy John Sally, a legend in the game.
Shout out Sal. He's a good dude.
Yeah, super solid dude.
Hold up.
Yo.
Hold up. You cannot finish that without saying, like, listen, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I for everything that I say is for entertainment and educational purpose only. Know that if you cannot mitigate the risk when it comes to investing, you must seek out what? Financial advice. I can only take you to the trap house. I know one financial advisor by the name of Rashad Bilal, one part of the Earn Your Leisure family. He can take you to glory. I can take you to the trap house. Now we set the room. Family, what's good?
Protect yourself at all times.
It wouldn't be right.
Wall Street Trapper, what's going on, brother?
What's good, my brothers? What's good, man? Shout out to Ian. What's good, brother? What's up, Troy? What's up, Rashad, man? Y'all know it's always an honor for me to come into the trap with y'all, man. So I always appreciate when y'all tell me to come here. Y'all tell me to come here, I put things to the side, man. So what's good, fam? What we talking about? Is we trapping or is we trapping? You hear me?
I see the emojis going up, my brother. So it must mean that it is time to trap.
Yeah. So let's get right into this. It's a lot going on right now. The stock market was in shambles today. The Dow Jones was down almost 800 points. So I want to get both of you guys' perspective on what today's pullback in the market means.
Trap called a 2% drop, so I want you to start there because you borrowed the crystal ball. Fire off.
For sure, man. I appreciate that, man. So this morning, I go live in the mornings, man. Because I felt like a great way to just talk to the culture in the morning was live in action, right? You don't get that much. So this morning, the great thing about the market is, man, it never does something that we've never seen before, right? Mm-hmm. Like it won't do anything that we haven't seen before. So the objective is to just pay attention to it, right? Just like we know the sun gonna come up, we know it's gonna set, we know the market's gonna do the same thing. So 3 things we must analyze is what are the current market conditions, right? We understand that. We understand who the players are, right? And then you understand what can be affected by these conditions. So we wake up, we know that the last week, first it was just inflation, right? Interest rates. So one of the things we learned that is when bonds become cheaper than stocks, that is a clear coat sign that something is about to shake. So what do I mean by when bonds become cheaper than stocks, right? So bonds are normally a safe haven. Bonds are normally the place where investors run to when things get a little shaky. Mm-hmm. But because interest rates are so low right now, right? And then bonds now are high, bonds are now higher than stocks. Let me say that again. When interest rates become low and you can't get a good return on your bond, on your safe haven, bonds now become identical. I mean, typically they say, okay, now bonds are higher than stocks. So now investors have nowhere to put their money, right? Right now we have $4.6 trillion sitting on the sideline with nowhere to go, right? We got $4.6 trillion sitting on the sideline. They can't go to bonds because interest rates are so low, they can't get a good return on it. The market is so choppy right now, they don't know where to go. So we had what's called a rollover correction, right? A rollover correction. What is a rollover correction, Trap? So what happens is this. We understand that mega cap stocks and big stocks, big name stocks have been holding the market up. Right? It's something that looks good on the top. So the TV can boast that, yo, Facebook is doing this, Amazon is doing this, Netflix is doing this. But underneath that, you have businesses that are 10% off the high. Mm-hmm. Right? You have businesses that are 10, 12% off the high. So the correction isn't at the top, it's at the bottom. So now you start to feel it when the ones at the top start pulling their skirts up. Right? So when they start pulling their skirts up, now the market starts to react. Why is the market reacting like this? One, interest rates are high. Boom. Then you have this new thing that pops up that say, yo, we got this COVID Delta strand that's out right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. So now you've now added something on top of something that was already big, right? So we already understand, again, interest rates will always play a big part in what this market does. That 10-year note is something everyone who's investing should pay attention to. If you don't pay attention to nothing else, once that 10-year note, excuse me, guys, once that 10-year note starts to go down, we understand that interest rates, mortgage rates, everything else go down. That causes the market to somehow panic, right? So those were something that was happening. So me just identify what's going on. I'm like, yo, because I already understood that fair businesses were 10% off the high. Once good businesses start coming down, we understand now we can have a pullback, something we haven't had, a sell-off, something we haven't had since probably about October of last year. Ian, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
We overdue for those type of things. So I'm like, yo, because I know now we're going to be in a heavy sell-off, and this was another thing that triggered it for me. A company today like AutoNation, something I tell my trappers about all the time. You understand when things start to happening, what are something that people want to like stray away from? Like, so nobody wants to really buy a car in economic times that are unstable. So they'll go to places where they can get discount parts all the time. If you don't know how to get your gym, it's an alley-oop, you do what you want to do with it, right? So a company like AutoNation, who had great earnings, still declined. Why? Because in times like this, earnings don't matter because people just trying to run for cover. So I said, yo, we're probably going to see about 2% today because something is overdue. We got about 2.6% today. So that's my analogy on it. Price multiples are real high. When I say that, PE ratios compared to stock prices. So when you say that, it's what are you paying for $1 of a company's earnings or a company's profit? That is high compared to the actual stock price. So all these things line up, you now have the writings on the wall for a pullback or for a sell-off. Let me correct it too. You're in a situation for a sell-off, and then that sell-off can get pretty deep, which now causes an overall market correction, which now puts us in a situation where we have buying opportunity. So that was my quick ramble. I hope anybody caught that.
Yeah, real quick, because when we talk correction, we usually thinking between 6 and 20%. Obviously, today we're at 2.6 at the high. I think we closed maybe at 2%, like you called, which is ridiculous. I got my text messages late. So, yeah. So do you think, or do you foresee a continuous sell-off, or have we reached the floor a little bit, and this pullback? Because I see the futures already for tomorrow are up. So what's your take before Ian gives his?
So we got to understand what are the two, sell-offs and pullbacks. They represent the same thing, but they are different things. Right. So one represents panic selling. The other one represents people just taking profit. Right. We must understand when one is happening and when the other is happening. And then we understand how we can react. One of the things, I'm going to be real with you, that I don't never try to predict. I just go off what the market is doing. So I'll wake up and I actually saw that the futures may have a little bounce back. But one of the things I will say is this. Don't let a bounce back make you think the market has recovered. We've seen it numerous amount of times. What that means is, today, sellers got in. We see futures picking up. That means buyers have entered the market. What we'll understand the difference is who's going to, it's like a tug of war, right? It's like a tug of war. Will the buyers outdo the sellers, or will the sellers panic more and the buyers become obsolete, right? And so in these type of unstable markets, right? And I want people to understand this because I see a lot of people say, oh, it's deals everywhere. It's deals everywhere. I personally, Ian may say something else because he's a genius in his own right, for sure. We all have the thing we're strong at. I typically don't believe that because the market is down 2%, that there's deals to be made just because it's 2%.
Facts.
Right? Yeah. The only way you understand a deal is if you can understand the value of the business. Once you can understand the value of a business, then you can find a deal. So if you can find something that's about 8% on discount, I think it's a good place to get it. If it's at 5%, I think it's a place for you to, stick your feet in the water. But it's only 1-2%. I mean, it's nothing to panic about. You shouldn't sell off. You shouldn't get out of the position. One of my golden rules is sell the eggs, not the goose, man. Right? Sell the eggs, not the goose. If you don't know what that means, let me just give you a little bit more before Ian chop in. The stock market for me is I like to look at companies like in the streets, right? So there's a difference between having a plug and a connect, right? There's a difference. Made up before I say this, everybody get your power reg dishes out.
Thank you, please. Thank you. Come on. You just gonna jump right into the kitchen, bro? Come on.
Straight up, man. Like, get your power reg dishes out. get your triple beams ready, right? So there's a difference between having a plug and a connect, right? A plug is probably the neighborhood guy, right? He's not doing hand-to-hand no more. He only messages you want to cop some work, right? The connect is the person who can give you some work, right? The plug is the person who he gets it from, right? So what happens for me in the market is I like to look for plugs and not connects. Right? I like to look for plugs. So what I mean by looking for plugs is the connect can be inconsistent, right? The connect can only be dependent on the plug. And if he can't get a plug, then he's going to be going to different places. So now he may have multiple sources he's going to go from. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to always have some good work, right? That means he's going to have some good work sometimes. He's going to have some all right work sometimes. And sometimes it's just going to be stepped on. You as the hustler got to determine what's going on. For me, I want to go to a connect because a connect gonna always have what you need. But sometimes the connect gonna be 100 with you and say, yo, Trap, check it out, bro. Like right now, like I gotta put a little tax on it because some things happen. It may cause, some things done got knocked off coming in. The feds done hit me up. I had to pay the DA a little bit. So he gonna tax you a little bit. But because you know the value, you might say, you know what, look, I'm good. Let me know when the drought is over. Let me know you ain't taxing no more. Tariffs. Let me know you ain't taxing no more. So then you go find you another one. The reason why I like to deal with plugs is because they're going to reward me no matter what. Even if I'm not buying from them, I know it's good. As a hustler on the street, you want what's called a moat in your business. Why? Because you want to be known for, yo, Trap always got the blue magic. I'm rocking with Trap. When Trap don't got nothing, I'ma just chill. Whereas you can be the person who don't have the blue mask and they be like, yo, you know what? Let me use you right quick, Ian. Don't take this as bad, right? They might say, man, he good today, but tomorrow it might be a little stepped on. Like I don't
got no stepped on, but I'll get you an analogy.
Yeah, that's why I say just you.
No,
right.
I got you. I'm gonna let you rock.
You be cooking, Ian. Let me say I'm not taking nothing.
No, you my guy.
My guy be cooking. So what happens is you want to always deal with companies that's always got some blue magic, man. If you don't find companies that have blue magic, what happens is you're going to always be scrambling. Because you always scrambling, now you're always looking for deals instead of just saying, yo, let me get a good company that's going to reward me forever. I'm gone.
My guy.
Trap. Only Trap can break it down the way he breaks it down. Legendary Wall Street Trapper. Ian, what's your take on the market, current state of the market?
You can't want exceptional deals and not have an exceptional pullback. So I was going to drop 200, but my guys on, so I was going to say the presentation. But a couple quick stats, like I got one from Ben Carson I thought was interesting. The S&P 500 hit 58 new all-time highs since the market correction ended in 2020. The stock market is up 75% of the time. The S&P 500 since 1928. The average bull market lasts 1,121 days. The average bear market lasts 207. 400,001 days of a bull market since March 9, 2009. Why are you worried about shorting the market? I'm gonna just be real. Like most people can't read the market. Man, that's why I put in our chat. Like Apple's gonna go to 124.76, decent area to buy, but a 2% pullback is nothing. So what it tells me, when everyone was hitting me up and like, yo, what do you think? You bought at bad prices. Because now, and I'll give you guys a tip if you want to. If you guys want me to give you a tip, just put tip in chat, and I can help you out to be able to gauge. But we've been hitting highs forever. So you can go to TradingView, or if you're on TD Ameritrade, there's an indicator you can use called balance of market power that will show you in real time if the market is overall green or red. So I always tell Xander, green means up, red means down. But anytime that we've had pullbacks like these, like October, November on down, these were ideal times to buy. So what happens is we'll have these red days and everyone's like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? I didn't read. I know you tell me to read, but I don't want to read, but I want the gains, right? That's not going to happen. But you have a chance to then wait for the market to sell off for a few more days and you may be able to grab it. And fear and greed is at 16. If it gets to 10, it'll be a good time to buy. But when things are at a high like this, those highs have to come down. But overall, don't worry. I've always said it. If I think the market is going to crash or it's really bad, I'll come on here and be like, oh my God, this shit going to hell. Like take everything out. I'm going to take everything out of my account. No more market Mondays. I don't know what to do. Facts. This isn't a reason for a panic. And Friday, we had expiration in the futures market. So there's a lot of reshuffling of the money, and people are traveling. So now we're back to a normal schedule of when people take off a month or two from the market from investing that's heavy, then September to pick back up, and we'll be fine. But the big variable is that Delta variant, which is, I told you guys all last year what I thought about it, and it doesn't come up enough, like how the crystal ball worked well there. This is the one we have to worry about. And on top of that, we'll talk about it next week, but only 1% of people right now are paying their student loans back, including people that are working. So when I tell you, I'm not worried about this. The ticking time bomb I'm worried about is if that bubble pops, it'll be 14 times bigger than a housing crash of 2008. That's what you got to look out for.
Yeah, that's a big bomb. That's a big bomb. It's the number one conveyor of debt in our country, even more than real estate at this point. So yeah, man. And you're right. I think the extension is until the end of September, and we'll see what they do after that. But
it's tough.
That's a big one.
I'm telling y'all, that was only. Nobody don't come in here and be like, Trap said Ian got stepped on.
Yeah, don't do that because you know they're gonna clip it up. It's gonna be one of them.
That's gonna be the clip. It's versus.
Mike got to use that as a clip. Mike, don't.
It's versus battle, man. You know, watch the throne, man. It's like when Ye and Jay may watch the throne. Anytime we get to have Trap on Market Mondays, is a pick and roll with him and Ian, and it's back and forth.
And Auto Nation fire too, by the way. I know that flew real quick.
Trap, let me ask you this. You said ARKG was like one of your top picks, and that was interesting because I'm in ARKG and it hasn't really performed well in the last like 6 months or so. So why are you bullish on ARKG, which is a biotech ARK ETF for anybody that's not familiar with that? Why are you bullish on that?
So because and when it said that, it was because I like, so the ARK fund itself is heavy Tesla, right? So I understand that Kathy loves Tesla, and because I own so many shares of Tesla, I'm already there. But when you look at the ARKG, it's actually the only ARK fund that is 100% different from all the other ones, right? It has nothing similar. So it is risky. She took balanced risk in the ARKG, right? And when we look at it actually outperformed, if I can correctly see it, it outperformed ARKK, not by much, but just a tad bit. What held it back a little bit was Teladoc. Because it just now started kind of getting in the bubble, but I just love the idea of how the ARKG performed. It wasn't nothing real crazy out the box because I do believe that Kathy is a great fund manager. Let me say that. One of the reasons why I do love her is because she thinks future, right? And I think that's what hurts a lot of fund managers. What we don't understand is fund managers typically are measuring themselves against their peers. Right? They aren't measuring themselves against having great picks, because what happens is if you're measuring yourself against your peers and your peers are outperforming you, then you typically copy what your peers are doing because you don't want to lose clientele, right? You don't want to lose that. And because the people inside the fund are applying pressure to the fund manager, right? And so for me, what happened with ARKK and the rest of them, Kathy was futuristic in saying, I love Tesla, right? She understood the dynamics around that business. She understood it wasn't just a car business. It was essentially going to be a storage business for fuel. She understood the long-term premises of what this company was going to be. The thing about that is once that plays out, which I think it has with Tesla, not saying Tesla doesn't have a ton of growth, but the premise on why she made that investment played out. Right. And so it played out exactly how she wanted it to play out. And then with ARKG, I think she has the same premise in Teladoc and some of those other businesses in there that haven't played out just yet. So I think in the next year or two, it will continuously grow. But I think in a year or two, you'll see it do for her like Tesla did with ARKK. That's just my bullish thesis on it.
Yeah, when I saw it and shouting myself, we both are in ARKG, and like you said, it hasn't performed. But I was thinking, you know what? Maybe the time we got in wasn't the right time, and that's okay. That's a learning lesson. And,
It's always.
you know what I'm saying? It's definitely a learning lesson. And we want to, people should know that. Like we're not hitting home runs every time we go to bat, right? Like sometimes we strike out, sometimes we hit singles. And those are one of the times that we struck out, but we're still in the game. So it was a learning lesson. One of the things you said is that you have a lot of shares of Tesla. And I know Ian has given out Tesla prices, and maybe he'll give out one today. We'll see. But we know that it's 30. Yeah, we know that it's 30% down since it's January highs. Are we averaging down on that, or what do we? What's the play on Tesla? Because that is like that, and Apple is like the number one question that people ask me every time.
100%. So one of the things that I do with Tesla, is I look at when I got in. Right. So you look at when you got in the stock again. I understood the value of it when I got in it. So I think I got in. I want to say I got in it multiple times.
What's your average price?
Right now, if I looked at my portfolio, I think we at around 325.
Yeah, yep.
325 will be our price. So one of the things I did was I got back in. I shouldn't have, but I was appreciative of it. I got back in around 425, right? And it ran up a little bit, so I stayed there. Now, depending on when you got in it, you should be doing that. So because it's come down, like you said, 30%, you should have gotten it 2 more times. If you went against what we said and you got it at a bad price, you then had 2 more opportunities to jump inside of Tesla. We always average down, but Ian likes to dollar cost average. And let me say this, every investor has a investor identity.
Yeah.
Right? An investor identity. There's more than one way to go hunting. Right? I might like to use the chopper. Right? Ian like to use the 45 with the extended. That's okay. You feel me? I'm cool with that. Right. So everyone has an investing philosophy. What happens is what make you a great investor is even when things go against what you think it can do, you can stick to your philosophy.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what makes you a great investor. Like when you Phil Knight or Phil Jackson didn't go away from the triangle offense no matter what. It was the offense that we gonna run.
Yep.
Right. He didn't go away from the triangle offense. What happens is when your investing philosophy isn't working for you, you switch philosophies.
You got to start all over.
Now you got to start all over again. What happens with your philosophy should be this. If something isn't going wrong, one, is it the philosophy or is it me? Right? Did I stick to the script? Do you have an investing journal? I've heard Ian tell y'all a million times that you should be writing down your trades and your investments, what went wrong, what's not going wrong. You have to identify your investing identity to keep you going. So Troy, yes, we are averaging down. For me, I'm good at a standstill because I don't want to bring my prices further down and with the end. What happens for me is once I get in at a price, once I start averaging down too high, I now bring my cost basis up. I don't like bringing my cost basis up. So yeah, Troy, to answer that.
Yeah, as far as that price for Tesla, 534.57 is a decent spot to get in. If you have it above that, you got in too high, to be honest. And if we ever drop back to 502.44, that would be a decent area to buy. ARKG 71.32. And then also to tie back into last week's episode, if you go look at the Benner cycle, if you can time with that methodology to when we should have the next recession, that will tell you about how long genomics play out. During a recession, you want to lean heavy on tech, genomics, biotech, but go do your history and research to see what cycles up. And then in boom markets, certain categories or sectors do well. The truth is, like, you guys may just be buying at bad prices, so it may not be putting enough time in. But once you, like you said, once you have a methodology that works, I don't care if Buffett and Peter Thiel at the same time told me, hey, you got to change your crystal ball. I'm like, man, you go straight to hell. Well, right? This should work too well. You see it glowing in the back, right? That's the actual crystal ball. Once you have your methodology, this is when you know you have it. You don't listen to anybody else and you don't care what anyone else has to say. You're so locked in on what you're doing that what anyone else does almost doesn't matter.
I will say during these type of times, 2 things you should look for is relatable growth and scalable growth, y'all. Right? Relatable growth and scalable growth is companies that can grow not only just earnings per share, but that can actually scale the business. So some business can scale in times like this. Right? One of the best performing stocks of the year right now is NVIDIA. Best performing stock of the year.
It's one of my babies.
right? Best performing stock of the year. I've been had it for a while. Right, options and in my regular portfolio, it has.
Remember when we bought that? We bought that the same day.
Yep. You know, and it has been a baby for us, right? So Nvidia, again, a company, you know, scalable growth and sustainable growth, relatable growth are two things we should be looking for when we're looking at business, y'all. Like, so when you buying businesses, asking yourself, like, Trap, what is in Trap? What is this a good stock? Is this a good business? Ask yourself, do you see growth in the business? One, does this have pricing power? Can the business increase in prices no matter what? Right? Can the business create a new industry or sector within itself, no matter what? Right? Businesses that can do that have scalable growth. This is some of the things that we look for, right? So, you know, and I ain't trying to talk over nobody here. This is just things that we should understand as investors, yo. This is a game that has so many layers to it, right? And it's so many layers and it's so many points of entry that we can get into. We get stuck on one thing. Two things we get stuck on as investors that often kill everybody: name and price, right? The name of the stock and then how much it is the two things that kills most investors.
And that matters the least.
Yeah, and those are the two things that doesn't even matter to somebody like me, somebody like Ian, you know, and everybody else will become like name and price don't matter, right? So if you took the performance of a stock, if you took the name off it, right, then and you took the price off it and you just looked at what's underneath the cover, right? That should be the determining factor on why you're buying a business. Not because the TV is pushing it, not because you think the price is too high or too low. Often we look at businesses, and one of the things that I teach my people is simply this, man. When we're looking at a business, we want to see how can they perform in the future. Like, what can it earn in the future? And we're going to base that off past things that it's already done. We're going to be conservative in our approach and setting price points, and then that's how we move forward, y'all.
The number one indicator that you guys need to focus on is actually time in the market. That's why, like, you never hear anyone with a lot of money. And I asked Trap this, I asked Troy Rashad. For all the people that you interviewed to the millionaires, how many of them have brought up RSI or 200-day moving average? Shit don't matter. Like, when I've talked to people that run funds, that's the last thing that matters. I'm gonna be real. Like, most people are not able to beat us because I know you're not willing to hold a stock for a long enough period. Like, even when like Xander's teachers ask him, like, what does your dad do? He's like, he owns part of Apple and Microsoft. He don't even say Red Panda. He owns part of Apple and Microsoft. The look is different, but I've drilled in him. Me owning a bunch of great companies is more important than even you putting the focus on this first. So if you can hold for a 10, 15, 20-year period, the generational hold is really the blueprint. You should go Google how long a generation is. And then once you do that and extrapolate in the tech sector for an A quality stock, how long it lasts, you already have your formula. It's not about the indicator. It's not about price per se, even though I'm one of the greatest of all time to do that. Exclude nobody. The thing that matters most is holding. Like, when I go back to 2009, shout out to Art, when he told me to get Apple in 2009 and I didn't listen, like, the money that it cost me not listening in 2009 and 2010 is heartbreaking. So please put it in chat. Holding for a generation is the most important thing.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Splash, bro. Hold on, Trap, real quick. The Splash Brothers, they're going back and forth, man. Buckle your seatbelt. Please like the video. We got 7,100 people live on YouTube. Trap, you missed how we started. You missed how we started the show, Trap. Did you see how we started the show, Trap?
Nah, man, I was getting my thought out the pool, man.
Oh man,
we had Usain Bolt and my boy Baby Shams. They came on and they started the show. We started the show with them.
I know, right?
Oh, it's epic, man. Listen, it's EYL, the biggest.
the big show. But not Trap. What was you getting ready to say, Trap?
I was about to say one thing is, when you're confused, do nothing.
Great point. Yep.
When you're confused, do nothing. Like, that helps you. That saves you mistakes. When you're confused, do nothing. The second thing is, the greatest investors understand the importance of time horizon. Right? The greatest investors understand the importance of time horizon. and it's being able to hold great companies for long periods of time. If you can understand that methodology, if you can understand that concept, if people be like, Trap, man, you don't do this, you don't do that. Of course I do. Like I do a lot of stuff. But the reason why buy and hold is the most important strategy for me is simple. Over the long term, this will close the generational gap for me. This will make sure that not only I'm wealthy, but my kid is wealthy, my kids is wealthy. This will buy back their freedom. Generational freedom is what I like to say, right? You own great businesses that aren't going nowhere, that can produce profits over the long term, that can scale their business, that can expand their moat. They'll be here. They'll be here. We turn a one-time transaction into a lifetime of profit. It's simple. We turn a one-time transaction into a lifetime of profit, y'all.
That's a big
y'all. Like, they made buy and hold unsexy because it was actually a strategy for conquerors and kings.
That's a fact.
Like, if we want to speak out, like, if Target, I want you guys to put in chat, when was the date of the Target IPO? You wouldn't think it. All-time return on Target, 21,000%. Buy and hold is not deemed to be sexy, though, because they know most people want to just flip enough to then go on vacation, take some out to date, maybe knock it down if you get lucky, right? But when you truly are trying to build for somebody that you love or a family that you love, you want to have these in. But I'm going to be like, people that are wealthy or rich, they don't go out and tell their secrets. They demonize that shit and make it look so boring that you won't ever want to touch it. That's the illusion. And then if I get you to chase this small gain, because 500% sounds like a lot if the benchmark is 7 to 12%, but then go look at what the returns were for Buffett and Peter Lynch. And some of these guys over a lifetime have knocked out 500,000%.
That's a fact.
What has Renaissance produced? Because I don't talk about him enough for a reason. What has Jim produced at Renaissance in the Medallion Fund? They're producing tech gains. Like, their employees pushed to work there to be a part of the fund. Buy and hold is the wave, but they made you feel like it wasn't because it's not the sexy thing to do, but that was intentional. But y'all can do whatever y'all want to do.
Hold the door. Hey, Trap, real quick, man, because I'm getting a lot of text messages, a couple of DMs about this company that has the largest market cap in the history of the United States, Apple. That Wall Street Trapper said is overvalued. It's overvalued. Trap, can you break down what you meant by the statement and the post for those who are not in the know?
All right, so I said it a while back when Apple was about 1 something. So again, based on me, so one of the things I look at is how can a company produce from its free cash flow, a discounted cash flow, right? And I also want to pay attention to how much revenue the company is producing. So when you look at business, you look at what the overall business is worth, not what the stock is worth, right? And so we understand that stocks, the business itself has a different valuation from the actual market cap, right? Those are two separate things. So the market cap will actually rise and fall based on people buying and selling, right? So I can't base my business, my investment off of someone's emotions, because we know that human beings have unstable emotions.
True indeed.
You feel what I'm saying? So I can't base my investment off that. Now, when you're looking at an investment of a business, you're simply saying one thing and one thing only. What is the business worth now, and what can it produce in the future? And so one of the ways we do that is we simply look back as what has the business produced over the long term or up into this date. We take those calculations, and for me, again, I am very conservative. So let's just say, for instance, a company has produced $100 million a year, right? For me, I'm gonna say, well, if it has averaged 100 million, for me, in my calculations, I'm gonna say it's going to average 75 million, right? Because I'm gonna be real conservative on my approach. So now once I take those numbers as effect, now I come up with projected growth on what it can produce in the future, right? Over the next 5 years or 10 years, whatever you want to do. So based on my triple beam, I felt that Apple wasn't worth at the time $2.2 trillion. I felt like it was worth $1.8 trillion. Just off my calculations. $1.8 trillion gave me a stock price, right? Because I said, if this company is worth $1.8 trillion, now what stock price gives me $1.8 trillion? You take the stock price times how many shares the business has, And then you'll come up with a price, right? The stock price times how many shares a business has. Apple has 16.9 billion shares of a business. You multiply different stock prices times that market cap, and then you'll get something that you can call a price of what the business is worth. Once I got that, okay, cool. This is the price that I was willing to pay for it. You reevaluate it every 6 months to a year, because businesses often add value to themselves. Businesses don't just stay at the same valuation. As they create new products, as the moat expands, the business adds more value, right? This is why people say, yo, I'll hold this business forever. Why? Because the business has sustainable, relatable growth, right? This is the business has. So for you to say that Apple can't grow anymore, you're tripping, right? You're tripping. Like, my guy over there is amazing. You feel what I'm saying? So he's one of the greatest, to me, CEOs that's out right now. So for me, I came up with that price. At the time, it was $97. I think Ian at the time said it was worth 104, which was still in that
same range. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool, right? That means we're in the same ballpark. It means he may have been a little bit aggressive on his, or maybe I was too conservative on mine, but it's still in the same ballpark. We're talking 10, 11 dollars right here. So now I moved it up after I did it again. My price range now is probably about 117, 118, something like that, which is still in accordance with Ian's 124. You know what I'm saying? So if those two prices if I know I'm in the same area with him, then I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? That means we're operating on the same system. But again, when you're looking at a stock's price, no one can actually pinpoint an exact price. Good, somebody said 107.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan. He put the price in there. Shout out to Dan.
Bingo. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. You know what I'm saying? So we still in that price range. So what happens is, again, no one can pinpoint exactly what a stock is worth. Even Warren Buffett will tell you that, right? Because we can't look that far in the future. We're doing speculation. We're taking hypotheses, educated guess off numbers, right? So that's cool. So me, again, $1.8 trillion, they got to work at 2.4 trillion. For me, I'm gonna be like, nah, that's too much. Why? Because people like to buy just because they like to buy. Again, I can't make valuations off human being emotions. So that was my price, 1.8 trillion from my numbers. And that's how I had come up with my prices, yo.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Catch the game.
Yo.
Catch the game, man.
And because people hit me, it was like, well, Trap said, what you think? I'm like, if the stock is at 150, why are you trying to buy it at 148? I'll say this year, like, when I was writing notes, you guys saw me like, Apple's not a buy at 134.21 or above. So what we're trying to get you guys to do is to have a formula for buying anything, regardless. So that 107 price, amazing. If it ever gets down to 94, I will be elated. I will put every dollar I have in the Apple.
Yes. Yeah.
but then when everyone's like, well, it's worth 2 trillion, what value could they bring? So me doing the homework that I do, and I'm gonna drop some books over here for you guys later, but I went on the site and I saw something pretty fascinating. So for one of the jobs they're hiring for, they wanted 10 years of professional experience, like 6+ years in business. But when I saw they wanted 5 years experience working on alternative payments or understanding the complexities of cryptocurrency, I was like, wait until Apple launches their Bitcoin and crypto initiative into the wallets. That will be the bridge for maybe a 2-year period until they get to healthcare, maybe 26 or 27. And then they'll probably be worth 3.2 trillion. But if you play the game for the long period, you'll be good. You want to come on camera and say, hey?
Hello.
What's up? What's going on?
So that's why I'm on live, baby.
What's the deal?
Hey,
good.
Hey, Trap, I'm gonna give you credit because I like what you said, man. That was a huge bar. You said when you're confused, do nothing. And not even that I was confused. I was waiting in patience. When you are trying to be patient, don't force anything, right? Don't force the shot. And so I made it very clear that I'm trying to get 1,000 shares of Apple. And so my initial price when I think I bought like 400 shares at 102. And so seeing it run up, I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing it run up. I'm like, yeah, this is great. But I still got to get to 1,000. And so I circled 118. I think we had that in the chat. I think that was in one of our chats. We were like, you're 118. And Ian was like, I'm like, all right, well, I got to be patient. I see it running. Right? I got to wait to my spot. So not even that when you're confused, patience is going to allow you to say, you know what?
It's one of the biggest parts of the game.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay, right now, would you pay $58 million a year for Giannis to be on your team? You give him 22 all day.
Right. Right.
So it's the same thing. Like most people get killed, especially in trading, because you're not willing to wait on price. That's my favorite thing to do in trading. Like when people are like, hey man, I can do it. I'm like, you guys are gonna kill each other taking bad trades and getting in on bad entries. So like right now, the ideal price from like 107, 106 to like 115 is the ideal buy zone. You can't touch it at 134.21. It went to 150. If you look in January, the high was 145.79. It slid all the way down to 117 in March. From March through now, went to 150. It's probably going to go back from 150 back down to 124 or 121. That is, you have to know what your buy zones are in advance and don't deviate it from. Even if they run up and go up 1,000%, what happened? Same with Tesla, came down. Same with Doge. Ian doesn't know about Doge. Oh, his ass know how to put on a blazer and talk about index. Where is it at? That shit ain't nowhere to the moon.
18 cents.
That shit in Albuquerque. Good price to buy it is at $7.50. I mean, excuse me, 7 cents. If you're looking to hold it for a 4 or 5 year period, like once you know, same with lumber. Everyone's like, yo, man, lumber market. So looking at the futures market, you have to look at all markets. So it was at 17, 11, 20. It's now at 490. Overextended. You don't want to pay more than it's actually worth. And it gap down from 1574. And then a week later, it went to 1049. It's now 490, probably going to go back to 353. Price is price. Once you have that part down, you are able to assess and buy any business, any company on earth.
Are you not entertained?
Yo,
is that why you're here?
Are you not entertained?
And my cute ass baby got on screen. What else y'all want?
Shout to Xander.
We're pulling out all the stops, man. Ian's son came on camera. We brought out the greatest athlete of all time. Wall Street Trappers in the building. Like this is.
Don't forget the announcement.
Well, I was getting to that.
Oh, okay.
This is something that and we didn't even get to the giveaways yet.
That's coming.
We didn't even get to the giveaways.
Let me say this too, man. The reason why buy and hold is so sexy, right? Let's look at I'm gonna give you a list of my 5 greatest investors. It's something I'll never talk about, right? Mm-hmm. So 1, Warren Buffett, right? Top of my charts, depending on how you did, average 29% on average. So that means some years he had 43, some years he had 30. He averaged 29% rate of return, yo. That's amazing. That's amazing, right? Next, we talk about one of my favorites, Monesh Prabrai, which was a student under Warren Buffett. He averaged 25%.
That's a sleeper, though. That's when you know you study, but go ahead.
Monesh Prabrai, one of my favorites, right? Averaged 25% rate of return. Another one of my favorites, Guy Spivey, right? Spivey. He averaged 25% rate of return, right? Another one of my guys, Joel Greenblatt, right? Joel Greenblatt, right? Averaged 40% rate of return. But the reason why his is so much higher than them, because after about 18 years, he said, man, I'm too good at this shit. He just got out the game.
Yeah.
Right? Right? He just got out. He's just like, I'm too good at this shit. I'm gonna get out the game. Right. And so you can take those guys, right? Oh, my bad. And Peter Lynch on average, I think his was Peter was somewhere between 29 and 35. Yeah. And Peter, I'm not mistaken. I can't get it off the top of my head. And that was over their lifespan. You're like, this is what I'm like. And these are buy and hold guys. Right? These are people who buy great businesses and they chill. Warren Buffett, when he bought See's Candy, I want you to give this little story, right? He bought See's Candy, which was a candy that, people that created candy. The guy wanted $29 billion for the business. Buffett said, I will give you $25 billion, nothing more, nothing less. I'm sorry, $29 million for the business. Buffett said, I will give you $25 million, nothing more, nothing less. 30 years later, the business produced $1.2 billion for him. $1.2 billion 30 years later. Now, just think about this when you think over the long run, right? So you say, but damn, if the dude wanted $29 million for it, and you still, in a 30-year time span, made $1 billion in return from it, why not pay the 25? Because you can't predict the future. What you can predict is what this business is worth, right? And I'll pay for you what it's worth for him, now me and Ian, we may give a little wiggle room. Buffett was like, nah, I'm 25 million, nothing more, nothing less. Take it or leave it. The dude sold it. He got a return of $1 billion. The company produced $1 billion from over a 30-year time span, right? So that's just saying how understanding the value of a business is what helps you in this game. Here's something that you can write down, right? Here's something that you can write down. A great business isn't a great investment if you get it at the wrong price.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
May the church say amen.
A great business isn't a great investment if you get it at the wrong price, y'all.
Yep. AT&T is a classic example, and Bonneman talked about that when he came on. Like, AT&T will pay a premium for everything and sell it off for 10 cents on the dollar.
That's a fact.
Everything. There's some people like, oh, it's a good dividend. I'm like, they haven't had a good acquisition in 15 years. How? It's like paying LeBron $83 million this year. I love Bron. I think he should get whatever he feels he's worth, but 83 is a bit. Like AT&T makes that mistake all the time. And then in that Warren example, that's 41x. We talked about ratios before of multiples that people are looking for, like it was close to 50x. Can you tell them about, because I saw your newsletter this morning about the company that makes a percentage of every iPhone sale. You want to drop that for them real quick?
Qualcomm?
Yeah. We was big on that. We was big on that one.
Yeah, Qualcomm makes $38 for every iPhone that's sold.
Yep.
Right? One of the things I love to do is, so a lot of times what happens is people, and I think right now I'm 250 shares in on Qualcomm, right? Got in at $72. Got in at $72. So one of the things I'm big on is looking at supply chains. Like I'm big on that, right? I'll look at a business.
You got in at 72?
Yep.
Okay, damn.
Proceed.
Got in at 70, and I told my trappers like, yo, this is a good price. So one of the things we can do is we can say this, yo, like we look at supply chains, right? And I like to call this second and third consequence, right? So if you ask yourself, like, okay, Apple may be too high, right? Apple may be out of your price range for a minute, right? But what other business can eat off that? You know how they have the big shark, and then when you look at the shark, there's the fish that's always on the shark, right? So how can I still get exposure to Apple and everything it does without actually having Apple? Qualcomm, Skyworks Solutions, Texas Instruments, right? These are three other businesses that you can look at that have, you know what I'm saying, direct connection to Apple, right? But still, if they lose an Apple contract, they still can eat. They still can hold their own, right? They can still hold their own. So when you look at a company like Skyworks Solution, the company has little to no debt. They're going to survive regardless.
Absolutely.
Look at Texas Instrument, whatever they do for Apple, they still have another business sitting on the side that just helps them.
It's a sleeper.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. Like, this is how we play the game. Like, you don't always have to look at the big dog, right? Look at what other companies need that. If you're looking at marijuana stocks, okay, cool. You like marijuana stocks, right? Cool. What is something else that can do if marijuana stocks don't get legalized or something don't go in the way? Okay, cool. Scott's Miracle-Gro, SMG, that can be a play for you. Why? Because not only are they the #1 fertilizer for all marijuana brands, they got a whole home and garden section that they do on their own, whether they use weed stocks or not. Right? Another one, IIPR, they lease land to marijuana growers. Second consequence, right? So if marijuana stocks don't get legalized, okay, cool. This company is still doing what? Leasing land to them, right? So we got to stop always looking at the main business and say, okay, what is the second and third consequence to this business? What is the other supply chain to this business? How else can I eat off this business? Like, let's stop looking at the big companies that the TV's always producing and pushing
like,
to us.
like Zoom. And it came out. 5-9 got bought by Zoom. Shout out to everybody in Stock Club. Like, you got to go and look in the trenches, because even like what Scott's Miracle-Gro, same as like Pool, you got to look for companies that have legal monopolies that are not going to get broken up. Like SMG, Anheuser-Busch. There's a few companies that have a dominant force that will not be broken up. That McDonald's on the real estate side, like there's so many companies that fly under the radar, but they actually have a legal monopoly.
Lamb Weston. If you're looking at McDonald's, Lamb Weston, Who's Lamb Weston, Trap? It's the people who make all McDonald's fries.
Yep.
Right? But if you don't get McDonald's, like, okay, Trap, man, McDonald's might be kind of high. Okay, let me go look at Lamb Weston then. Why? Well, what if they stop doing business with them? Cool, they're the #1 potato business.
Yeah.
So even if they didn't deal with McDonald's, you go another way, right? Let's say, okay, Trap, the airplane industry, bro, they got too much debt. I told y'all about Alaskan Air. We told y'all about Southwest way long time ago. Those were the only 2 airplane companies I ever would have got into, right? But Trap, what if I don't want to get into the airplane industry? Okay, cool. Look at JB, right? The transportation business. Why, Trap? Why don't look at them? Because when you look at airplanes getting tugged around in the airport, JB Hunt. Airplanes get tugged around in the airport. Who you think do that? JB Hunt. What else do they do, Trap? They also have transportation that gives the airplane their food. So when your food is going on the airplane, you in first class eating, that comes from JB Hunt. They're making that go around, right? So what happens is we look at the big business and then we never look at the businesses on the side, right? You're looking at the Christmas tree, but you ain't looking at the ornaments, right? Let's look at the ornaments because that's what make the Christmas tree look good, right? Apple is a great business, but they don't make screens, right? They don't make screens. They don't make
ancillary businesses that are protected.
Right? There's different businesses inside of Apple that can pay you for a lifetime, y'all.
Unbelievable.
They said the collection plate's going around.
Unbelievable. It's a whole lot of game. Make sure you hit the like button, guys.
Please.
Almost 8,000 people.
Share with 5 friends.
Almost 8,000 people on YouTube. This Market Mondays thing is a cultural phenomenon. And anytime, we get to have Trap on, like I said, it's like the Splash Brothers with him and Ian, two of the greatest, and, great energy, great synergy, and a lot of information, man. So,
and we always agree. That's the funny part. People ask, what's our opinion? I'm like, anybody that invests, we see the same thing. We may explain it different, may have a different methodology. Even with CrowdStrike, I'm like, yo, that's fine. Like, even with the price of 72, I'm like, yeah, you've been trading, so you using the trading shit for the long-term investing. Like, I get it. Like, people that really know that craft, that you're not going to have, even because people are like, why don't you guys do a versus? Hey, I'm not nobody I like. That's goofy to me. But if we did, it'd be back-to-back the same ones that we like.
That's a fact.
That's it.
Because it just comes down again to, even though the philosophies may be different, what happens is being able to identify great companies. I mean, that's the nucleus of what being a great investor is, right? Like, just being able to identify what a good company is and how it performs. Like, these things don't change. I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. Yo, I'm not gonna teach you nothing that probably Warren Buffett hasn't said, or, but you probably have to read 15, 20 books to find that one gem, but I done read them already. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sitting here like I'm bringing you something that has never been said before. All great investors almost follow the same, set of rules, right? And they use them in different points, right? So, it just is what it is, y'all. So before you get up here and you say that, this person doesn't agree with this one, yeah, we do. It just be different ways. It comes out different ways. It looks different.
And we all learn from each other. We all learn from each other.
Yeah, we all learn. Man, I used to be on IG
beautiful
Live
thing.
looking after Market Mondays, and Trap be going on for 2 hours doing fundamentals. And I'm like, King, I'm just here to support. I'm not here to like jack no people from you. I don't do that because people love to do that. I'm like, yo, I'm just here to learn. Like, and that will push. And then he was like, yo, read this one. I'm like, hey, read this one. Like, see, like, we'll exchange information. I'm like, okay, let me go deep into the fundamentals. And
I'd say exactly. Ian, you're dead on, because fundamentals, I was like, this guy's the master of it. Like, he had to show me what it was to have a moat. And he gave me some tools, right? Right. We spent like an hour on the phone, like, yo, how you finding these companies with the moats? And then he showed me game. And Ian, I call him like, yo, where you getting these price points, bro? Like, we really learning from each other. Like, it's a beautiful thing. So I want people to understand the camaraderie here and the learning process that's going on.
Let's do this, because we still got to do a lot of different things. And we got to do earnings report. I want to get to some questions. We're going to do the giveaway. But before we do that, we're going to reset the room. If anybody just joined, the big announcement that we had was, we are launching the first ever financial literacy business investing festival, August 27th through August 29th in Atlanta, Georgia. And we will be having the top investors in the game, including Ian,
one of the greatest of all time, exclude nobody. Go ahead.
Humbly speaking, that's a
Humbly
fact.
speaking.
including Wall Street Trapper.
I'm bringing triple beams and Pyrexes, man.
Including 19 Keys, Ronnie Brown, Kizia, Kiana Watson, MG the Mortgage Guy, Hill Harper, Miss Business, Ash Cash, Dave Shands, John Henry. My boy Fabulous will be doing a performance, and that's just half the lineup.
Yeah, we didn't want to give everything.
Yeah, we can't announce. Of course, we're gonna be adding more people too. We'll be covering taxes, crypto, stocks, real estate, insurance, estate planning, marketing, mental wellness. It will be over 5,000 people in Atlanta, Georgia. We will have 200 vendors. So it's kind of like how Essence Fest. You ever been to Essence Fest? You understand how they got a lot of vendors and people selling stuff. So this is extremely important. If you have a small business, go to the website. We are looking. This is going to fill up quickly. We only have room for 200. You can sell anything as long as it gets approved. You can sell merch. You can sell hair products. It's going to be a whole swap meet type situation. We will have food trucks outside supporting the food truck industry.
Some people you may know.
Yeah, well, that's a fact. We will have 1 million alumni in the building. Of course, we'll be there. We'll have live podcasts. We'll have fireside chats. We'll have a VIP night. We will have presentations. It's just going to be like the Woodstock. It's going to be Woodstock for investing. And 5,000 people is going to come together. Everybody's going to share ideas. You're going to share information. You're going to learn from some of the top people, some of the brightest minds. I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. It's something that, like I said, in this fashion, we want it to be something that can live every single year and just get bigger and bigger and bigger and be as big as South by Southwest, be as big as Coachella, but it's going to be for business, investing. We're going to blend culture in like we always blend culture in. So pre-sale tickets is out right now. Go to the link. It's pinned on YouTube, investfest.com. Follow Invest Festival on Instagram for all information. And I'm telling you, we stamping this. This is going to be something that is going to be a legendary thing in the world.
Yeah. And we got. I mean, I wish we could say more who's going to be there, but there's going to be some companies in there that you've seen, that you've probably used as a resource that are coming out. It's going to be an entire situation, man. So I'm happy that we're able to come forth with the idea and put it together. And shout out to our boys, our Philly boys there. They said, look, this is culture and commerce mixed together.
Where culture and commerce connect. Where culture and commerce connect.
Yeah, shout out to Jalil. Yeah, that's dope. So, I love it.
We got some surprises up our sleeves, man. But go to investfest.com right now. And like I said, I mean, you see how Ian and Trap get together. Imagine how that's going to be in person.
I ain't doing a 2-index 2 tech thing either. Say that for here. Okay. Yeah. Future swing trading, short-term trade. Listen, the whole gamut. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and real quick, because I know we got some earners in here. Our Patreon, tier 5. That means you're a tier 5 member on Patreon. You'll be getting a message before the end of the week about InvestFest. So be on the lookout for that. Please be on the lookout for that. Our tier 5 Patreon members.
InvestFest will be off the chain. Earnings?
Yeah. We got earnings report. So fellas, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna say the company. We've mentioned these companies. It's kind of crazy, but I know Trap, one of your favorites, is gonna report. So I'm gonna run down the list, and then after I finish the list, then y'all can chime in on the companies that are reporting. We cool with that?
Yep.
All right. So real quick, this earnings report is brought to you by Ladder. All right. It makes sense for people to get life insurance. We know that. We explain how important it is. I told you the role it played on my life. And we've seen it, especially with celebrities, the role that it played and didn't play in theirs, especially term coverage. All right. Which is surprisingly affordable. Why not pay a bit each month to protect the ones you love? If you're asking yourself that question, check out Ladder. Ladder makes it impressively fast and easy to get covered. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithms work in real time, so you'll find out instantly if you're approved. No hidden fees and cancel anytime. And since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. I am a living example of that. Please, trust me. Get it while you're young. You'll thank yourself later. All right, so check out Ladder today to see if you're instantly approved. Go to ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. That's LADDER life.com/Market Mondays. Ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. Head over there. All right, so let's get into these earnings. It's a big week. All right, so tomorrow, well, we had IBM report today. Did everybody check that out? Y'all check it out, Trap?
Yep.
Not even jacking that. All right, so tomorrow we got a couple big ones. Obviously, we said Ally. our sponsor. Netflix is going to be reporting tomorrow. Be interested in seeing their numbers, how many new subscribers they've added, how much more original content, money they spend on original content. All these things will be interested to see. And Chipotle,
bro.
Chipotle will be reporting tomorrow as well as United. And then on Wednesday, ASML. We spoke about that last week. Ian, you remember that? We were talking about our semiconductors. Yep. So they'll be reporting tomorrow, Coca-Cola, Verizon, and then we have our social media on Thursday with Snap and Twitter. And I apologize. I publicly apologize because if you are day one Earning Your Leisure fan, you know that. I think like episode 3, we're like, yo, Snap's dead. But we were dead.
You didn't say that, bro.
I did. It was early. It was early. Forgive me. I apologize. I made a public statement. I apologize. So Snap and Twitter will be reporting as well as Intel. And then one of my favorites is going to be reporting, and I've been paying them since I was 18. American Express will be reporting on Friday, as well as Honeywell. Fellas, thoughts on any of those companies? I know y'all like some of them. Trap, we already know Chipotle. Go ahead.
You want to go further, Ian?
Yeah, Ally is a good buy if you get down to 41.32. Netflix 488.35. Honeywell sleeper, like dominant force. American Express is amazing. I like Visa more, but American Express is incredible. And then United, I'm not the biggest fan of. I will stay away from that one, but the rest are pretty damn good. But yeah, Netflix, if it gets to 488.35, it'd be a decent spot to get in.
Yeah, I was arguing with myself, like, chat anything under 5. And I keep telling myself anything under 5 for Netflix, I gotta get it under 5. So I like what you said right there. Trap, you got.
There's a few things. Troy, I want to appreciate you.
First and foremost,
what do you do to you? What happened?
Foremost, bro, like you gotta put some respect on Chipotle, bro. Like I just need you to put some respect on it, bro. Like,
that was the first conversation we probably ever had about stocks, and you were so adamant about it. I was like, all right, man. And then I watched that thing run, and you would text me like, I told y'all Chipotle. I'm like, he talking about Chipotle?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest bull runs of all time.
So there's a few companies I like, and I guess some of my trappers gonna be mad because I gotta talk to them about it. So Intuitive Surgical is a great business.
We talked about it last week.
Right, it's a great business I'm picking up because it just doesn't wanna just give me no type of deal at all. It just keeps running. It doesn't want to stop running. And it's not running, it's not like blazing, but it's like incrementally.
It's slowly,
I'm like,
you can't catch it. Yep.
I can't get it to pull back, so it's kind of making me mad about that. We did talk about Texas Instrument is a company that people should look at. Definitely should look at Crown Castle. Crown Castle's a great one. Nucor. The company is up 120% on the year. Don't sleep on a company that's up 120% on a year, right? So it's something that you should look at Thursday. Thursday is a company you should look at. Also look at Alaskan Air. I talked about it when the pandemic first started. So one of the things when you look at airplanes, right, and people just not getting on to it, and I talked about it before. It says Nucor, Nucor. It's a steel mill company, right? And so even though people think steel is dead and it's out of the water, it is, except for this company has a great business model. Kind of different than U.S. Steel and all the big steel. It has a great business model. If you look at the rest of the steel companies, they're kind of in a dumpster, right? This one has still flourished, right? Because I don't get into that mood about that business, but it has still flourished, right? But when you look at a company like Alaskan Air, so when you look at the airline industry, one of the things we talk about is when you look at ironworker, so I kind of knew about that business. I was an ex-ironworker, so I kind of knew about it. But when you look at airline industries, a lot of airline companies have so much debt, right? So much debt. And so when you look at companies like, I talked about this before, when you look at companies like Delta Airlines, and so one of the things they did to keep from adding more debt, they started buying debt bonds on their routes and on their gateways, right? Which is two asset classes that airlines have that people really don't understand, right? So people say, well, the passengers are the assets. No, it's the airline, the routes, which can be an asset called the intangible asset, one that you can't see, right? And the next one is gateways, which is another one, right? So you look at like Atlanta is a hub for Delta, right? And so they have more gateways than anybody else. That alone is an asset, right? So what happens is with a company like Alaskan Air, if you wanted to get into the airline industry, why? Because they had 19 months worth of cash sitting on the side. They could operate 19 months without having a passenger.
Which is amazing for an airline.
Right? Right? 19 months, yo. Balance sheet was pretty good. The only person that had a better balance sheet was Southwest Airline. And Southwest Airline just understood that they couldn't be the brand like Delta was. So what they did, Southwest Airlines said, you know what? We're going to get away with premium seats, and we're going to give seats where everybody can afford. And in certain places you go to, Southwest Airline has more routes than Delta. Another thing that Southwest Airlines has over Delta is more straight flights without stops, right? So they have more, what you call those non-connecting flights, right? So you go from one city to the other. Delta, a lot of times Delta make you stop at one city, you have that layover. Southwest has more straight flights than Delta, yes, nonstop. So that helped them out because one, not only did they have cheaper seating, people don't like stopping at airports going to another airport. People want to get from A to B without stopping. So they don't want to do A, B, and C. So that was the way Southwest Airline was able to get a competitive advantage compared to Delta. Even though Delta is the bigger name, Southwest came in and said, okay, I found something that I can beat. With Alaskan Airline, what they took lesser flights than everybody else. They was real selective about it. But the management was able to put so many incentives in, and they were able to cut off a lot of things that were eaten away. So one of the things you notice that when companies like Delta Airlines, and they weren't sitting, they were burning $60 million a day, right? $60 million away. So even if you had a cash reserve, you're burning through $60 million a day. There's no way you can survive. Well, Delta couldn't go get loans on those airplanes because a lot of the airplanes are outdated, right? So nobody wants to get a loan on an outdated plane. So that's why they started borrowing against the routes and the gateways. Alaskan Air said, yo, we don't have to borrow nothing. We have 19 months. If we don't have another passenger for 19 months, we can go. So that would be a great company just to look at. I'm not telling nobody to buy it. I'm just saying, you know, if you just was looking at some things, that would be a great company to look at. I'm also interested in looking at Intel because I want to see how they're going to survive, right? I'm interested in seeing Microsoft has taken their chips away. Apple has taken their chips away. Intel, I want to see how they're going to survive.
They put a delay on making their chips.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're about to die, but because they do have this data processing that they have that's really good, but I just want to see how they're going to adjust. So I want to listen to their earnings call based on that. And last but not least, Next Era Energy is up to bat Friday. If we don't know that energy is the best performing sector in the market this year. So I definitely want to just see that as well. Ian, tell me what you think about that.
Is we trapping or is we trapping?
I agree 1,000%. Like if you guys go back and look at the safest stocks that I gave out last week, I think it was Google, Nvidia, Shopify, Intuitive Surgical, and Illumina were in that list. So ISRG, amazing. Nextera's on the run. I actually gave away Nextera out in Stock Club last year. So yeah, fire. Intel is going to be tough.
Yeah.
I don't know what competitive advantage they have. And then looking at the chart, if I'm looking at balance of market power on a quarterly, yeah, they're negative right now. And the last time that happened was April 2016. And then before that was 2006. They got some tough competition. AMD, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, they're putting them to bed.
Yeah, and that's why I want to see. I want to see what they can do. Like, I'm not saying not get it. I'm not saying get it. But one of the things I love to do in this game,
you have to watch.
I like to see, like, once something starts shaking up, you get to see who gonna hold it down. You know what I'm saying? You get to see who's gonna be able to stand, who can take that punch in the face, and who can still hold their own. Right. So I want to see it, like, because anytime. And so this was something we talked about looking at that supply chain, right? And so we see that Apple has come off that supply chain for them. We see that Microsoft has come off that supply chain for them. Some, and then that only makes other people say, yo, I'm gonna come off the supply chain too, right? And so now how do they stand tall, right? What do they fall back on? And I want to see it. Like, so for me, earnings call is, and I tell my trappers this all the time, earnings season is not for you to just look at companies that you love. It's to also look at their competitors to see what they're doing as well. And if your company is aligned with what the competitors is doing, then you're in a good company. If the company's competitors is outdoing them, you want to see what is your company doing to adjust to what's going on. You don't want to be the blockbuster and Netflix is telling you, yo, streaming is coming along. And you say, no, I'm good with the VHS, right? You don't want to be that, right? So you want to see, okay, streaming's coming along. How do we keep on moving with this? So yeah, man. Shout out to y'all guy, Dan P.
Yo, Dan is going. I was just about to say that Dan going crazy. He's sending links.
Let's get a couple questions if we can before we wrap.
Dan is on fire. All right, let's see who we got. Let's go. Let's try this. Tracy Matt, we come to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on? Tracy, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Perfect.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to finally get to talk to you all. I've been following you for so long. But I just wanted to discuss my portfolio. Like, I am not doing so great with it. And of course I want to ask you all. I'm just excited you all are here at the same time. But I had done the rule number 1, which is not to listen to other people and do your own research, of course. So I listened to someone and they told me to. So first and foremost, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the company. It's like AMD. So I had bought ADM at $14. They also told me to buy
Stop
it
being
at
a friend. Stop being a friend today.
Yes, listen, I've been done for a while, so I just need
At
help
14?
to build my portfolio back up. Yep, at $14. So when it first came out in last year, when everything went down, like last April, I guess, I sold it at like 44. And yeah, so that was like my biggest blunder. So
we've all been there. Okay. And what did you replace it with?
Was it AMD or ABM?
AMD, I think.
Okay. She was an AMD.
Oh, I was about to say ABM. Why? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
So I have Zoom right now. I have QQQ, XLY, Disney, and like the horrible things I have is AI Blink. So that's BLNK. And I have ARKG, and I bought it at the wrong time. So I'm like, should I like get rid of them and just start over, like reinvest in other like blue chips like Disney, or I don't know what to do. I'm like stuck.
Yeah, Disney is good. What was the other one? Go through the good ones first.
The good ones is a Zoom. I think Zoom is good. Who knows? They bought something today. I forget. I'm drawing.
They bought 5.9.
Yeah.
What price did you get into Zoom?
Zoom, I bought at 143.
You can hold it. They'll probably fall back to 435.
Yeah,
and you should buy some more then, but give it. They're going to balance out around like the $400 mark. But you got it at a good price, so you can keep that.
Okay. I have QQQ. I bought that at. I mean, I've been buying that for a while. But I have it at my average is 226.
Okay.
Yo, Tracy, what's going on? Like, you good? What's going on?
I don't have a lot. Like, I didn't buy a lot of them though. I should have bought way more. I was so scary about it. But I bought ARKG at the wrong time, which you all were talking about.
What's the number?
I bought it at 150. It was like 153. That's like horrible. Because right now I'm like, should I hold it and just let it recover, or like get rid of it?
Get it again at 101.79, and then you'll have a better average price.
Okay, 101.79. I'm taking notes, and I have Blink, like, because the EV, electrical vehicles.
Everybody said it was the new wave, and then they got waved out of here. What price you getting?
I know. I learned. Listen, $41.64 is what I got that at, and I'm like, I want to get rid of it. So I mean, I guess I will.
What do you want to get rid of?
Blink charger.
Blink, yes. And then AI is trash. That's the artificial.
Yeah, you got to get rid of AI. For sure.
That's pretty bad. So like, I mean, I'm going to lose money, but whatever. I just need to let it just rip the Band-Aid off and just get rid of it and just reinvest in something else. So yeah, those are that's my portfolio, and I just need to, I guess, stay focused on the ones I have instead of just getting other ones.
I agree. You get rid of AI for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Blink. I'm not a fan of it.
Don't love it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Not at that price.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I think Blink wasn't one I was on, right? I think everything else you can just hold. And I mean, you can't go wrong with QQQ. It's one of the ones that I don't have a problem with you holding. ARKG again. You know, it's a fund.
Mhm.
You believe in Kathy, you good. I would think you should look at the top 5 things that she's holding. That'll tell you a lot about that business. Kathy is not bad. Disney, I just left Disney. Lines are still wrapped around the corner.
Disney's gonna be good.
Yes.
We spoke about that last week, how much we love Disney.
Yeah.
Yes.
Streaming, they have solidified themselves as a streaming competitor, as a big dog, with capturing 94 million subscribers in a 1.5 year time span. They beat.
Hey, Trap, tell them how long it took Netflix to do 100 million subscribers. You know?
I want to say 11 years, right?
Yeah,
11
Wow.
years. They did it in 14 months.
And their
With
content
no-
isn't great yet.
With
So
no
when they get good
slowing down in
content,
sight.
Yeah,
it's
and
game over.
what gives Disney that, and it's crazy, and I won't stop because I know Rashad going crazy because he want to get these questions in.
Yeah.
What I just know my guy, yo. I know him. Yeah.
He gets rubbing that head, he getting anxious.
Yeah. It's the culture that Disney has, right? And so as I was in Disney this week, and I'm like, yo, this, like, I'm talking to my daughter because my daughter owns 150 shares at Disney, and I started getting mad at myself, like, damn, I should buy.
Should got more, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's because, like, once Disney is back open, like, Disney is back open, right? And so, like, they're building more things in there. People love it, and then Disney has this vault of content that they can just consistently repurpose time and time again, and it never gets old. You come out of the womb understanding Mickey Mouse, and then they just feed you on the different characters that they do. Like, I was looking at the fireworks, and my daughter knew every song, right? And I'm like, yo,
It's great programming.
Yeah, you'll never go wrong with that. And Disney is one of those companies where we talked about sustainable growth and relatable growth, yo. Sustainable growth. The new CEO understood. Look what they did, y'all. The new CEO worked in the entertainment part and the movie part of their business, right? When he became CEO, he focused everything on streaming. He went heavy streaming. Heavy content, and that's where it's at, yo. And they won't stop. They won't stop.
Yep.
They won't stop. So I think you get rid of AI, but I don't want to tell you that. You do what you want to do.
Listen, I'm getting rid of
trash.
it. I'm getting rid of it. It's been trash.
Yeah, I don't like that. Blink. I'm like Ian. I don't like the price you got added in it. I won't tell you do what you want to do that, but I think you're pretty good. But here's the dope part about that: every investor will have a few bad performers in their portfolio.
Absolutely.
Right. The thing about your bad performers is simply this: is it a damaged stock or a damaged company?
It's both. I feel like it's both.
You know what I'm saying? Because a damaged stock can always bounce back. A damaged company, now you got to go recover. Yeah, it's hard for them to recover. So you ask yourself, what is those, right? And so from there, that's what I got to say about it.
Okay, thank you all.
Stacey, appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you.
My 24-month price target for Disney is 261.20. I know you guys saw it on CNBC. Kudos to him and their team, but I was the one that said Square's the new JP Morgan.
That's a fact.
So no inventing. I know Diddy invented 3 mix, not y'all.
That's dope because I tell everybody, and I tell my class, I said it a million times, everybody should be in fintech.
Absolutely.
You should have some fintech somewhere in your portfolio, like you understanding what's going on, like fintech, what it is. So you should have that. Good call, Ian.
Hey, Trap.
I appreciate it.
I know. I'm not sure. I'm just sidebar. That company that we talked about, like maybe 2 years ago or a year ago in March. That coffee company from China.
Okay.
You know they're trading on a different market now, right?
Yo, I just want to say I saved Troy's life, y'all.
Oh yeah. He saved me some money. So Lucas Coffee. But no, here's the crazy part though. So they tanked down to $4, right? Mm-hmm. They trading in a different market now. They on the OTC market on the LK NCY, and they up to $15, up to $13 right now, bro. I'm not invested in it. I'm just saying, that was a sneaky move. You know how that goes. Waiting in the league, go to the DB, and then put it up.
You go to OTC because the rule and regulations are different.
Exactly.
You go to OTC market because the regulations are different. You're not held to the same standard. And I can manipulate an already hard. Lufkin was an example of a damaged company.
Company. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Troy's ready to bet the house on that. I just want to say that, y'all. Troy came with 2 stocks and said, Trap, I got Lufkin and I got DraftKings.
I said, what you think? What you think? Yo, I promise you the next morning I call Ian, like, yo, bro.
I said DraftKings, I am there. That Lufkin, leave it alone.
Yeah.
It stepped on.
I just keep my eye on it every now and then. All right. Don't be mad at me.
Yeah, let's
all right,
let's get one more question before we do these giveaways.
Oh, they waiting on that.
I know they waiting on the giveaways.
I haven't seen this thing before. I hope I say it right. Sedalia, what's going on? Did I say that right?
Yes, you said that right. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly.
How are you?
Oh, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for everybody. It's amazing. I'm so glad to be in the stock club. Recently, I just joined, and for
welcome to the family.
Troy. Thank you. So I've been really curious about making a trading plan. I know it's probably like a stupid question, but I don't really get it. Like exactly what it looks like to make a trading plan. I guess you just make your entry price and your exit. But if you're doing buy and hold, like what does that mean? Like what does it exactly look like?
Are you trading or long-term investing?
I'm starting out long-term investing right now. So I'm trying to follow the two indexes. I started a couple months ago and I heard you, Ian, but I didn't listen. So I ended up buying. I didn't listen. I didn't understand. So I heard you said index. I heard ETF. So I bought a bunch of ETFs and then I bought TQQQ. So right now, instead of like selling everything, I'm just going to hold what I started with and then just do what you said with pick 2 winners and another index.
Great. What price did you get in for TQQQ?
I believe it was 89.
Oh, you doing good. Okay, great. For your long-term investment plan, all you have to do is this. Write the price in which you want to enter, and then next to it, how many years you're going to hold it. That's it. Trading is if you're going to intraday trade and you're going to be in trades less than 12 hours or an hour or something like that. But for your long-term investment plan, this does help though. This is a tip, right? Like before you guys buy it, you should know what price you want to get in and how long you're going to hold it. Because you're going to have friends like the Queen earlier, and you may be in a good company and you get out too early. Like for me, Xander 6, I don't plan to sell a majority of my stuff until he's 35.
Okay. I got it.
So,
and how often do you update? Yeah, I got it. And how often do you update your entry? So like I know
I add every month.
Every month. So just once a month, go back and look and be like, okay, that I didn't get in last month. It never reached that price. But if it gets to this price this month, I'll get it.
And last year was an exception with March. So I bought more quantity at one time because those prices I was waiting on for 12 years, 13 years. So, so yeah, when they were like rock bottom prices at crystal ball pink in the back, I loaded up like crazy. But now with the markets that are high, I'm looking just to buy every month and average up.
So just buy every month. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Sedalia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Trap, I see what's going on over there, man. It's bedtime. We got a lotion in the face.
The legendary Wall Street Trapper.
Hey.
Oh, good. I got you, baby.
Let's do this. This is going to be okay. So we're going to give away 5 scholarships to EY University, 5 scholarships to Red Panda Stock Club, and 5 scholarships to Trapping Anonymous. Now, the Red Panda, I do have a request for that. We did meet the gentleman Joel, and he actually was part of the original 297, I think, last year, but he didn't get the email in time. He had a lot of stuff going on. He didn't get a chance to renew. So I definitely would ask you, Ian, if he can be one of those people because he was actually already in the program and
we got stuff, right?
He was definitely a good dude. We have his information already.
Yeah.
So shout out to Joel. All right. So what we'll do is in the chat, in Zoom and in YouTube, enter.
Shut down YouTube.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Enter your email. That's all we need. Email, right?
See.
Wait, who we doing first?
No, we'll just split it all together. Divvy it up.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Enter your emails. Enter your emails.
Janet, screenshot, please.
Somebody, please screenshot.
Yeah, this is moving pretty fast.
We won't. Usain fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jumping right
I'm not even sure how people type this.
Trap house jumping.
Man, that's some good dope right there.
Shout out to everybody in Stock Club who got in last year, and some of y'all like 500, 600, 700% long
Hey,
term.
hey, look at the 99. It just keeps jumping. It's like 99, 99, 99.
Yep.
This what Rashad like right here. Look at this is what Rashad likes.
I'm stopping because there's so many joints, but like it's like damn, like
Oh, you might as well wait.
say what's up to the people, man. You gotta come in good, man. Yeah.
My guy, what's popping?
What's good, man? I just came out here for more support.
You
know, Kingston's my home, man. What up, Ian? What up, Trap? Y'all good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I don't know you ran into my guy Drew recently. I just want to give you love, man, and tell you you're a good dude. Always been solid. I appreciate you dealing, man.
I appreciate y'all, man. Love.
You're your nighttime
good energy.
voice.
Yeah. Yo, Alex turned into R&B only Alex. Like, damn, bro. Yo, what's going on, yo? Yo, he had his whole patois swag going earlier.
The EYL truck will be at InvestFest.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And we got some surprises. Okay, so we have enough emails now. So now what we're going to do, and this is even going to be even crazier than the emails. Now we're going to do the cash giveaway situation.
Let me pull up my cash app right now.
Into your cash apps. Cash app your life away.
You heard that? That's me snapping pictures of these emails. Yo, you on YouTube? You gotta take a picture, bro. This is game. I don't even know how we going.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy none.
Yo, I told him be careful. Don't do that outside. I told him, don't do that outside, bro. We gotta do that inside only.
Shout out to Jamaica, man. Market Monday.
Drop them damn cash apps. Y'all doing a big international.
Market Mondays, man. The show must go on. We out in Jamaica.
Biggest.
That's it, man. That's it, man. It feels good, man. It feels good. We will pick the winners tonight, and I'll send 5 names to the guys, and then the Cash App will do that. And yeah, man, hopefully the Cash App, I mean, obviously you can use the money for whatever you want, but hopefully, the people that do receive it, if you have not invested, that's really my hope. Like for anybody that has not invested, this is your opportunity to start a 529 plan, start a UTMA, or start an IRA, or just start a regular brokerage account. And just get in the game, man. Get in the game. Get in the game. You can't win the game if you're not in the game. So I know a lot of people tune in to Market Mondays every week, but more importantly than receiving the information is executing on the information. So we've done this before. This isn't the first time that we've done this, but periodically we like to just add some level of help when we can. It's extremely important. It's a blessing to be a blessing, as Josh Chris would say. So we're all fortunate, we're all blessed. And the only way to really keep the blessings going is to spread love and to share your blessings.
Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
Yes.
To know your boy.
So, once again, man, it's always an honor. InvestFest. You're gonna see all of us there. Get your tickets. The VIP gives you 3-day access. The regular general admission just Saturday and Sunday. Wall Street Trapper, Ian, 19 Keys, Kizia, Ronnie Brown, Kiana Watson, MG the Mortgage Guy, Hill Harper, Miss Business, Ash Cash, Dave Shantz, John Henry, and Fabulous, and Earn Your Leisure. And that's the first lineup.
Yeah, it's like Summer Jam.
There will be multiple. There will be multiple line. Like there will be a lot more names that will be added. But we wanted to just give y'all. That's like the first roster.
Remember that? Remember Summer Jam? They tell you the artists, and then it's like, wait, who's gonna close the show?
You always got to add.
And then you hear the show close. It's over.
There's gonna be something that's very, very, very big, man. So make your way to Atlanta, August 27th, August 29th. If you are a vendor and you're interested, we will have 200 small vendors, tables. Where you can sell your products and you get your name out there. Go to investfest.com. All the information is on there. Follow Invest Festival on Instagram. How do you guys feel about InvestFest? I told both of you guys. What's your thoughts on it?
Incredible. I want to say it the day we talked about it. I want to once again, I'm not doing a two tech 2 index. I'm coming it's gonna be like how last episode was. I'll probably go through 100 stocks, swing trading, how to trade futures, how to get an edge in the market, how to build a portfolio to last you 20 years. Like, even if you guys don't like my thesis, you can't argue with what I've stated, what happened, and it has had, including Doge. And shout out to everybody on IG who I was like, yo, man, he don't know. Bro, I trade. I tricked you into thinking I'm just a long-term, like master trading to become a great long-term investor, become a great long-term investor to understand what you do when it's time to trade. I'm going to bring out all the tricks at InvestFest. I promise you.
There you have it. Trap, how you feel about it?
Man, you know, man. I see, you know, I told you a while back, I think we was at the Money Bag Yo thing in Atlanta. And I said, bro, like, we haven't impacted the culture enough until we have the same energy from the culture that rappers get.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember I told Rashad that, and we looked around because Rashad was like, yo, look at this crap, bro.
That was AG spot in the dome. Yeah.
So we was looking, it was like, yo, like it was a vibe, and then Moneybag Yo came, Meek came, and we saw the whole energy shift. I remember me and Rashad was looking, I said, bro, we haven't did enough until we have this energy, right? And so my way of doing that was, you know, I did my workshop, and then I was like, yo, like this is what we need to do. And so, you know, I look at the Tony Robinsons and Grant Cardones, I look at them and I'm like, yo, and I'm gonna just say, like, our people shouldn't have to go to them. Like, it ain't no shots at nobody. It's just me stating the obvious. Like, there's enough of us that have enough game, right? Where our people shouldn't have to go nowhere but to us, right? For the information, because we should stand on integrity, right? We should stand on morale. We should stand on honesty, and we should be able to give our people good dope all the time.
Disney 165.18. My bad. I just wanted to get that out before we wrapped up. 165.18 for intro.
And so when I hear that, because I said I wanted to do something in New Orleans for my next one, and so when you said InvestFest, I'm like, yo, my guy's brilliant. Like, that's the blueprint for us to get to our culture, yo. Like, and I told you when we was doing the thing with EYL, they saw the little snippet. I said, yo, EYL, the mothership, yo, I'm just a conductor on a train. You know what I'm saying? What I love about each and every one of us is no one has to try to outshine anybody.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if my brothers need me to come through, like, bro, like, I'm coming through and I'm gonna give you my best performance. I'm gonna give you my best, like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna always give you my best because I know what we all represent as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear InvestFest, I'm like, yo, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, it just shows where the culture is going, because it shows us that the people are ready. So we put 5,000 people in here in a 30, you know, I did my workshop in 30 days, right? And it was boom. And so you do this, and it shows us that when we want to do something, yo, we do that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it should be like that in any phase of your life. When you won't do something, you don't think about what can go wrong. You just do that shit and you
execute,
make it along the way, bro. So I applaud y'all for that, man. And you know, I tell y'all anything I can do to help it be better. Any experience I give y'all from what happened with my event, what I learned, man, I got it. So, and I know the people gonna stand behind it 100%. So if you say 5,000 people gonna show, I'm looking for 8,000 people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, especially after what we did tonight. This was amazing, right? And you think about this. This isn't I'm not, there's not a Meek Mill or a Shaq. It's Ian Dunlap, Wall Street Trapper, Rashad Bilal, Troy Miller. And we have 8,000 people in here, bro. Like, that shows the impact that we have. In 2 years from now, 3 years from now, it's only going to get bigger, man. So I'm glad to be here, man.
There you have it. Wall Street Trapper has spoken. I appreciate you guys, man. Both of you brothers, always adding value, always educating, and the people's favorites. Definitely two of the people's favorites. Every time I'm out, people ask me about Wall Street Trapper. They ask me about Ian. They talk about Market Mondays. Definitely fan favorites.
The Breakfast Club's interview was legendary too. And you put some numbers up on that board though.
Hey, you know what we forgot, bro?
Speaking of Breakfast Club, you know, it was so crazy when I was on the Breakfast Club, I mentioned that QQQ call. I'm up 45% on that call.
That's right.
So I was just looking at that. Like, I actually said that, like, live.
We said a couple stocks. I said the Nike one. We said a bunch.
But that was like, I gave like the price.
The price, yeah. It was. I mean, that's a great call. We put a lot of people in that stock. And
there's still 2 years left.
Exactly. That's the part that people got to really realize.
Yeah.
Like you still got 2 years left on that. But
You should
what
be
we
trading
forgot.
the ones that you're invested in long term. That is a super secret that most people don't use.
And Ian, I gotta say this now because we did not mention our networking party in the Bronx last week.
Shout out to the Bronx.
Shout out to everybody in the Bronx.
That was a movie.
When you want to talk about people asking for people, obviously, Ian, I said, I'm going to call. The first person that asked me, I'm going to call you, and I FaceTime you, and you spoke to the young lady. Shout out to her. But shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to our brother, Kev Egger. Shout out to Jalil and Brandon for capturing the moment and making sure that it looked like a movie because it absolutely was. And shout out to everybody that was in there. It was overwhelming to be in New York City, to be in the Bronx specifically. We both got ties to the Bronx. It was amazing. So shout out to everybody that pulled up, and trust me, that ain't the last one.
And that was on a 2 day. That was on a 2 day announcement. We had 1,100 people come.
That ain't the last.
Packed to capacity in New York, and yeah, that's something that we'll be doing. We'll be taking that show on the road also. So shout out to everybody that came out to have a good time. It was all peaceful. It was all love. It was all networking, and the ladies came out, the fellas came out, the money came out. So
I got so many DMs like Trav, like where you at? Yo?
That's killing me, man.
Bro, I'm on family time right now, love.
We'll do it again, man. But what would you brothers like to say before we end it? I'll give y'all the last word. Trav, Ian, what's
Trav, go first.
I'll let Ian end it because
you go. You my guy.
I just want to say one thing, and it's kind of a statement for what I say a lot, man. Information, education changes the conversation. Once you change the conversation, you change the compensation. Once you change the compensation, you can create a new realization for yourself and your family, man.
Well, you've been working on this? You've been working on these sayings?
Nah, man, I just
I saw
it look like us. Like I can tell you.
I saw that on the live. I said, my boy been sharpening his tools, man.
That's what happens, man. I live by the trap isms. It's stuff that create, like when you be in the kitchen cooking, bro, you be like, oh, this it.
One.
This one gonna push the block right here. Yeah. And so what happens is you just do so much research, so much homework, and you get ideas from being in a moment. And so that's what that is, man. I'm gonna say it again, man. Information and education changes the conversation. Once you change the conversation, you can change the compensation. Once you change the compensation, you can create a new realization, right? And so what happens is we get the information. How many people, you can type in the chat right now, me and Ian, I felt like Nas and Scarface just not going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And so how many people got information from here that they can implement, that they can talk about, right? You change that conversation from the information you just got, right? You change the conversation, then what happens? Now we change the whole investment conversation that you can get money from. So now you change that and so get some compensation. What happened when you start changing your money situation? You can now change the realization, which I like to call fear. Finally exiting average reality, finally exiting average reality, man. So I just want to leave with that, man. That's it, man.
I just want to say I love you guys. One of the greatest pieces of advice that I got, and I want to share with you, no one is coming to save you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your friends. A lot of you be like, yo, how can I get my people to support, my family to support what I'm doing? They won't until you win. No one's coming to save you. I told you guys, like, I had the idea for this kind of format, like they saw the vision, like talk to Trap. Like, that's why we always bounce. I'm like, I asked Trap all this, bro, when you come back on the show, no, that's your thing. I'm like, quit being humble. Like, get on here and talk your ish. Like, you're incredible at what you do.
Thanks.
But once you put it in your head and be like, yo, no one is going to come and save me, and you get this down, that's when freedom happens. Like, too many of us want to be handheld. Like, I'll give you the prices. Disney 165, Netflix 488.35, Ally 41.32. I don't care if Ackman walks in. Ackman, please come on the show. I love you dearly. I don't care if Ackman, Buffett, Lynch, Kathy, all them. God will have to come down and tell me that I'm wrong about this crystal ball in order for me to change. That's when you have freedom, when you're able to know when to get into a company or business at a particular price. But once you stop depending upon others to get you to where you want to be, that's when the evolution happens. That's what I did.
There it is. Hey, y'all be safe. Love each other. Be kind to each other. Reach out. Call somebody. one conversation could change.
When that
it.
Usain dropping? Yo, what's the date?
Yo, big man. Wait. Hold on.
Greatest of all time in there, boy.
Nah, seriously. Reach out, man. Especially now, man. The summer times can be lonely, man. Especially if you got nobody there. So reach out, man. Enjoy yourselves.
Shout out
Safety
to Jamaica
first.
Shout out to Jamaica, man. we are having a good time out here, man.
Yeah, safety first, though. Y'all know that.
It is, man. Please listen. I know there's a lot of people here. Don't DM me and ask me for the scholarship, fam.
Yeah, me either. I'm about to go hang out with Xander. Listen, and I said the Cash App, Red Panda family. I'm about to drop some more for you on Stock Club call.
My DM was at 25. It's now, and I just took 3 hours today to clear that.
You probably at 300,
99 right now.
99 plus.
I don't control it.
The scholarship is through EYL. Whoever Rashad sends me, that's what I'm rocking with. Please. I'm not.
But if you execute upon the information we've given tonight, that's a scholarship in itself.
Yeah, a lot of game. A lot was given out tonight, y'all. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we appreciate your time as always, my brother. Mr. Dunlap, sir. They will be waiting for you at the next EYL situation that we had.
I will make sure that I'm there. I will make
yes, sir. Y'all brothers be blessed, man. Have a good night. Shout out to everybody. Wait. Where's Dunlap? Clap it up for everybody for a crazy day. Yo, we've been ripping and running since 8:30 this morning. It is 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we're not finished yet. We gotta do something. I'm hungry.
Shout out to Big Mike. I see you, Mike, my guy.
Yeah. Shout out to the team.
Bam.
Mike, what up? Ben, what up? The whole team, what up? Christian, Jordan, I love y'all. Daddy be home soon. Danny, I love you.
Jamaica,
I'll be home soon.
We will be back. We'll be back.
Jamaica, man. I love you. Jamaica, I love you. Kingston specifically, I love you.
And I'm glad y'all didn't come back too. That's why I say I want us to be balanced this year. Trap, I'm glad seeing you in Disney, spending time. Like, that's what it's about, spending that time with the family, like not rushing back. Like, we can have fun and do business and help. Like, yeah, stay put.
A man that doesn't take care of his family can't be rich.
That's a fact.
Facts. Facts. I'm about to go play Fortnite with Xander right now.
Yo, all right, guys.
All right, y'all. Y'all be good. We're gonna eat some patties right now.